Well, haiku to you. And this is Daddy O. Okay. I got to talk to you. It's something good, and when you have a chance, give me a call. If Jenny's around, I'd like to talk to her too, so maybe you could put it on speaker. If not, I'll talk to you, and then I'll call her later. Okay? Love you. Bye-bye.
The study of the universe spans almost inconceivable extremes of size and distance and time. From the vast island of stars we call a galaxy, to the tiny atom and the particles that comprise it. From cosmic events that occurred billions of years in the past to microcosmic events in the present that endure for only billionths of a second. To explore the universe at these extremes, the scientist builds instruments that extend his reach and his vision. His great telescopic eye has the light-gathering power of 1,000,000 human eyes. It peers not only into the depths of space, but far back in time. Since the light it now observes may have left its source when dinosaurs inhabited the Earth. His telescopic ear is tuned to the invisible radio sky. It detects not objects, but the radio regions associated with them, and at distances far beyond the range of the largest optical telescope. But the radio waves and the visible light that pass through the Earth's atmosphere to these ground-based telescopes are only part of a broad spectrum of radiation, most of which is blocked by the atmosphere.
Recognize that you have chosen your purpose in being in this society at this time on your planet. Know that if you were not going to make a difference, you would not be here. As you begin to see the idea of the connection of everything in your society as it relates to you and as you relate to it, you will begin to understand that each and every individual makes a difference within the society as a whole.
Hey dude, this is Peter from Prequel Sequel Remake. Just wanted to let you know we're going to feature this on a user mail portion on an upcoming episode. I'll let you know when that's live. And I just wanted to thank you so much for sending it in to us, man.
That was a message from the Prequel Sequel podcast, another delightful podcast that I had left a theme song for. I've been leaving a lot of theme songs for various podcasts just for kicksters, and sometimes these folks get back to me and then they want to feature my theme song on their show, and if they don't, sometimes they just call up to thank me. And so it's just so I love this cooperation, this collaboration, this reciprocation, prescription, subscription. Good God, for Christ's sakes. Tonight there's a Yachtly Crew show. Yachtly Crew 6/8/2018. 18. It's happening tonight at the world-famous Viper Room. My aim is to get a podcast out before tonight's show. That way you can hear this. And also, so then I can record more stuff at that show and actually interview folks for the podcast. Every single person, I've realized, is another possibility for stories. You just never know who's got what kind of story, where they're coming from, where they've been, where they're going, what their current intentions are now. So that will be happening tonight. I would say around 11 p.m. There are a few other bands opening up before us. Come on out, check it out. It's gonna be fun. We have normally it's the first Friday of every month. This time was the second Friday. I don't know who was in town, but for some reason they had to scoot us over. Tommy Black, the bartender, the GM, great guy. He was friends with Scott Weiland. He was actually on the bus when Scott Weiland was found OD'd. And they put all the blame on his shoulders, saying he was the one who, kept... was just the bad influence and whatnot. So he's had a bad rap. He's a great guy. He's a really cool dude. And his birthday was yesterday, so we're going to celebrate that tonight on the stage. Without further ado, here's a fun message.
This is Man Behind the Machine, and you are listening to Inspirado, Projecto Radio.
we are heading on a journey. Heading up to the post office, the PO. See you guys later. Heading up to the post office. Sending off 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wedding hard drives. These are being sent to the Chicagoland area. Hello. Great. These are being sent to the Chicagoland area, to Imagination Designers headquarters. Those are the folks that Barry and Brianne, they're the ones who own it, and I've seen them grow this empire within 16 years. I mean, like, there's so much momentum. They're always getting awesome reviews, winning awards, all kinds of cool stuff. And it's an honor to know that they chose me to help edit some of their wedding videos. So now, see, unlike California, where it's basically wedding season all year round, Chicago only has a wedding season during the summer. Typically, every once in a while, like for instance, I edited a wedding video that took place on, I believe it was New Year's Eve, actually, in downtown Chicago. The snow was falling. Grand Hotel. Might have even been at the Drake. Do not quote me on that. So that was one example where it took place not in the summer. It's a rarity. It's a rarity to come across those. Usually this stuff is shot in the summer. They want a closer assurance that it's not going to be raining, because it's something special when you come across a day it's not raining and it's not humid. The humid human. Hello, pleasure to meet you. I'm the humid human. Somebody please get me a fan. Please. I'm a humid human. A big old truck. Big old black truck with a license plate that said Hendrix. Almost killed me. Almost ran me down. My death would have been documented. Tonight's our show for Yachtly Crew. So, if I died right then, how'd I have made it to the show? Well, the answer is this. A parallel universe is created with every decision. So, for every decision where you kept your tires on the ground, there are possibilities where you did not keep your tires on the ground. Well, those near-death experiences, as it's been said, in those moments, there's a good chance that we actually had died, and we switched into a parallel universe. So we have to go zoop zoop. So for some reason, who knows how the winning thought or whatnot is chosen, because that's an interesting thing. How is the winning thought chosen? How's that decided? How's it decided that this specific thought or idea is going to be the one that everything will move forward with? How is that? So that's it. That's one of the many interesting things. Another interesting thing is, just from observing this, I see that if I continue to walk on this right side of the street, there's a lot of light shooting down. If I go across the street, there's a shadow of the buildings, so I can walk along. It is a little hot out here. I wore two shirts, 2 long sleeve shirts. Right? Isn't that crazy? Or 2 long sleeve shirts. The other long sleeve shirt is worn kind of as a light jacket, if you will. As you never know when it's going to get cold again. So I like to just be prepared, just in case. You never know. It's happened to me on many occasions where I've set out into the world and it was hot, and then it got cold in the night. So I try to keep that in mind. I rarely walk on this side of the street. This is great. You might be able to hear them in the distance here. That is a leaf blower employee. So I'm coming across a construction kind of spot here, and I'm wondering. It appears as if I'm following the leaf blower dude down the street here. I'm taking away to the post office that I don't normally take. Ooh, I found another shady spot. This is cool. I like this. I got to remember to shoot through this thing. This is really cool. Wow. I like that. You know, like when there are scaffoldings next to a building, it creates this interesting tunnel. Because then you've got some really cool light effects. You've got some cool light shooting through the scaffolding, through the wood in it. Wow, there's that familiar like dirt smell. Construction smell. Holy shit, these guys are way up there. I really want to go in there. I know I'm supposed to, you can't go inside places like that unless you got a hard hat. However, something about that in there. It's a really cool location. I feel like I got a booger in my nose. Did you ever feel that way? You're like, I feel like I just looked at myself in the mirror. And I clean that out. And all of a sudden, suddenly you get this flash of insight, like, oh, do I have a booger hanging out in my nose? Whoa. I'm walking down this particular area that I don't normally go in. And, oh my God, they tore down a house that was here. They're going to make that into an apartment complex. I just know it. Oh, man. All that stuff. Torn down. They want to keep building more and more and more and more. More and more of these apartments. And what's happening is a lot of these apartments are luxury apartments. So you got people who are moving into these places that are like maybe $2,000 for one bedroom. And yet they have hardwood floors. They got probably workout facilities, pool, all that razzmatazz. And my landlord gave us a notice at the beginning of this month. They're like, okay, by July, you got to give us 130 extra bucks a month. And it was so crazy too, because I noticed these guys had been tearing apart the floors, putting in hardwood floors, and then also I noticed out there in the hallways, in the lobby, they did a lot of remodeling. And I thought to myself, oh, that's pretty cool, that they're doing that. And then there's that little piece going, uh-oh, are they going to charge us more now, each month now? Is that a sign that, now... So anyway, they're trying to compete with these luxury apartment prices. It's interesting. This is a moment in time where I get to be challenged to ease in more into the idea of abundance, looking at it as a funny little game. Like, oh, that's so funny. Like, for instance, this month, I just found out that one of our gigs was canceled at this place that had already canceled it on us once before. And then they brought us back for a different night, and then they canceled on us again because, I don't know, something. Their excuse was the House of Blues show in Anaheim. Anyway, main thing is, right now, see, there was a couple months where we were getting 3 shows a weekend for Yachtly Crew. And this was great because it was helping me pay for my rent, because I wasn't doing the wedding videos. They had taken off, for that, because there were no weddings coming through for that season. That's why I'm so excited that wedding season is back. Okay, so this is what happened. So I ended up finding out, rent goes up. I go, all right, I accept this challenge. And then all of a sudden, we found out we lost that show for Yachtly Crew. So, to go from getting 3, 6, 9, 10, basically 12 shows in a month, we have 2 shows this month. So, and then in July, I'm going out to, okay, so, thank you, by the way, for going with me on this journey. So we got 2 shows this month. Oh, me, poor me. Now, main thing is this, though, that I'm excited about. The whole point of me saying this is the excitement of the fact that I decided to lean into it. And despite whatever my current circumstances seem to show to me, I was able to go, you know what? That's not me. I see it, but I'm not going to believe in that illusion. And so, sure enough, I ended up getting a text from Barry saying, hey, can you send those hard drives back? Send me back those hard drives. It's wedding season again. We got some weddings. I'm going to fill up those hard drives, and I'm going to send them out to you. So that's what he was saying, basically. And so, hence, that's why I'm going up to the post office. After that long story, that long riveting story, the truth is revealed. This is why I'm going to the post office. To catch you all back up. That was just a big flashback. Now we're here in the now. To the left, we have palm trees. These are some of the biggest reasons why folks come out to California, because you see the palm trees in a lot of those California shows. And I've since learned that palm trees are not native to Los Angeles. Come from Hawaii. I heard about that. Might have even talked about that on this podcast before. Who knows? Could be. It's only just out of reach down the block on a beach under a tree. They make him cannonballing down through the sky, gleam in its eye. Wait, how does that go? Who knows? It's only just out of reach down the block on a beach under a tree. Something's coming, don't know when. but it soon catch the moon, one-handed catch around the corner, or whistling down the river to me. Will it be? Yes, it will. Maybe just by holding still, it'll be there. Something's coming. Something's coming. Don't know when, but something's coming. Something. Like I said, one of my plans is to put out the West Side Story solo acoustic album. It may just be me singing in echoey places. I might add some backup vocals, melodies, if you will, and you will, and you might. You will or you might, or you might, or you may. I'm in the process right now of I'm doing my due diligence, but first I needed to send off and get some responses from some of these places, all these different podcast directories, apps, all that razzmatazz. So I've seen seen the numbers just on Anchor within 2 days. Within 2 days.
Filling them out.
I think it went up. What was it? It was like 500 or something. It's amazing. It's really crazy to see how this is all unfolding. All right, let's see what we can do here. We're gonna try to send this back to you. I'm gonna have you right here with me. Okay, we are done with the post office experience. If I had had you sit there in line with me, it would have just been, it was slow. It was slow, these people. Everyone who had a slow thing to do was there today. So, what are some good things to do when you're kind of in a rush? You just kind of want to get out of there. I just tried to look around, appreciate where I was at, realize that I was very fortunate to be living in California, in the United States. Being allowed to carve my own path, say what I want to say. So, that was what I did, in addition to filling out the address. There are two gals on the corner here of this Buddhist center, and they were there. They were there the first time that I had come around. All of these things getting torn down and new things getting replaced, it's a great reminder of, well, first of all, the temporariness of life as we know it. You just don't know when something that you totally dig and you take for granted is going to be there the next day, you never know when it's going to get torn down. Some of these buildings I'm walking past, I haven't really walked past some of these in a while. And then I'm seeing them, and whoop, they're gone. Some of these buildings could have been good subjects for photos, etc., locations to shoot stuff in front of. It's so interesting. This just popped into my brain. I realized that every expert, quote, expert, unquote, is just trying to make the best out of the particular career and or business that they are personally involved with in their particular reality paradigm. They're just doing the best that they can. See if they've found a method. They've found a method that works for them. And I'd like to say that I think because there was such a commitment to a particular reality, to a particular dream, that perspective wanted to exist so much that it grew. It came into being. That persistence and yet not necessarily, so this is the interesting dichotomy here. Persistence, yet not forcing. So the idea is to continue that movement, continue that dream, continue that growth of what is unseen, possibly. Continue that. Keep watering it. And it grows. It grows. Isn't it funny? That's what nature teaches us. You need the right soil. You need the right, everything, all this right circumstances. Let's say you got the right soil. This is what I'm imagining right now. If you got, just the most ideal soil for a tree to live in, but you don't mix the seeds in the right way, or the chemistry is just off, I think it try to do its best to live in that environment. But something tells me it's not going to grow at its optimum level, because it's not going to grow at its optimum level because it's not with its optimum chemistry set, so to speak. So I think that's you could have a great idea. Say you're an improv artist. You got this great idea. You say this hilarious thing about Telly Savalas, the taxi driver, or whatever. Do this whole, you're all excited. And then your fellow teammates just go, no, You try to give a chance, they just go, no. Now, it's not that it's a dumb idea. It's not that it's a stupid idea at all. It's an unexplored idea. It's the fact that they, if they drop it, if they're not giving life to it and not putting, pumping it full of excitement, full of energy, the thing is just not going to fly. So that's what it takes. It takes people who are excited about the dream. So let's say, okay, so just like we were talking about with the seed, the environment, and all that jazz, the chemistry. So let's say you've got a computer business, and everybody on the team is so excited about what's going on, and yet they constantly have break-ins into their place. But they're really trying to make headway, and then right when they're around the corner, bam, another thing happens, another break-in or something. Well, maybe it's time to move to a new environment. I guess that's the interesting thing, is wondering at what point, because the idea is to do the best you can with what you got. Now, the interesting thing is figuring out, well, when have I given, when is it time to stop? When it's usurping the energy, when it's taking away the energy, when it's... So, just trust your reality is unfolding the way that it needs to be for you. The interesting thing is, as I continue experimenting with that idea and playing with it and utilizing myself as if I were some kind of avatar in this video game, rather than going, oh, it's happening to me, taking things personally, remove myself from it, going, oh, bam, it's happening to this particular avatar. That's a response that this particular being is receiving right now. Or is he receiving it? If you don't catch the ball, let's see, how about this? The radio. We always hear the radio analogy. So if the radio is on and you're not tuned into that station, and you don't, so basically you're not able to acknowledge the existence of those frequencies, in other words, those wavicles. You're not able to confirm the existence of them, or bop your head along in time with one of the songs. You're not able to do that because you do not see it. Shortwave radios. When I was a little kid, we had a shortwave radio. I'd hear all kinds. I could hear stuff all the way over to Europe. I could hear stuff all over the place. Now I could not. I didn't have the technology for me to respond. All I could do is just listen. And it was interesting that, I was able to have the tools necessary to plug into that frequency to be able to listen to it. That was awesome. Oh, we got a couple of cops out here in front of this apartment complex. Let's see how this unfolds. Are you talking to a landlord over here? What's going on? Now, to get back to the analogy of the people who have their business and they're in a bad environment. What if those people were into this? This is what I'm wondering. What if they're into transcendental meditation? What if they were all into harmonizing their reality experience? And in other words, successfully dreaming of and changing their reality experience, so to speak. We already know that reality experience is there. It's just them agreeing on its reality. How cool would that be? You got a tribe of people who are all transcending to a reality where these things are all working out. So that way, imagine that. You got all the people. Kind of like what they did in Washington, D.C. when they did that test with the meditation. They meditated on peace. And then the crime rate went down in Washington, D.C. because of their meditation. So certainly something like that could happen. Thank you. Thank you. That was cool. A random lady. Oh, so this was the interesting thing. Oh, that was funny. Right when I said lady, the word lady was written on the ground. Earlier I was talking about those palm trees. And at the post office there was a girl with a palm tree tattoo on her arm. I had to point that out. I'm going to point out, my mission is to point out every synchronicity, no matter how insignificant, every symbol, so to speak, that I have talked about and that I now see. So, lady, for instance, I said lady. Well, then there was the word lady written on the street. Am I tuning into it? Is a placebo if it's working? See, using the word placebo, it has a negative connotation with it, doesn't it? Placebo. Oh, that was just a placebo. In other words, what you're saying is, oh, I just did that with my mind. I tricked myself into believing that was better. Or, you know, I tricked myself into whatever the thing is. But then there are results that show that the mood is lightened, or that, you know, the ailment is gone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because it's not, how should I say? I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about things like the FDA. I was thinking about these approvals, these particular approvals. When science says something is worthy of being real, so to speak, then it's real. Once you get this consensus, well, who are all those people? And what are the attitudes of all those people? Are they just stern, just like, no? Do they want to see things happen? Which is great and interesting, because if you've got a bunch of minds that are trying to harmonize, so to speak, in this mindset of just being overcritical and, you know, trying to explain away miraculous events, then if we use that analogy, like the idea of those people who were able to meditate in the, you know, and everyone felt the peace. I mean, if they're able to do that, then certainly a room full of scientists or very critical people are not going to find those things, because they're looking to not find them. They're trying very hard to not find them. They're not opening up to frequencies and possibilities of being able to find them. So we are here. We're back at the apartment. It's 4:47. I got to be at Viper Room at 5:45, I believe. So I'm going to hop in a Uber, I think around 5 or 5:15. So I think that's it for this podcast, unless I play another little ukulele ditty. I'm drinking my coffee again. I'm drinking my coffee again. I'm drinking my coffee again. Yes, I'm drinking my coffee again. 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 Drinking my coffee again. I'm Drinking my coffee again. Drinking my coffee again.